Do different mental illnesses face different kinds of stigmas?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Different mental health diagnoses can certainly experience different stigma. Sometimes it's associated with what symptoms they might be experiencing, or what they may have seen on TV or in a movie. Unfortunately, mental health concerns often get a bad rap from how they are portrayed in different types of media, which then leads people to believe that that is the only way to experience that type of mental health concern. When in reality, everybody's experience of a mental health concern is a little bit different. And so I think you may hear some of that in how people refer to mental health diagnoses, or if they call someone their mental health diagnosis first instead of calling them a person. So, for example, saying a depressed person is very different from saying that this is a person who has depression. And so a lot of that stigma comes along with that. I will also say, just in general, student athletes do tend to experience a higher level of stigma around mental health concerns in general, based on being this population that is supposed to be seen as tough and strong and not show weakness. And so anytime they come forward with mental health concerns, there can be a little bit of extra stigma around it, which is why we do things like this to try to decrease that stigma.
What like misunderstandings can stigmas bring like around an athlete?
Yeah. So I think sort of one of the things I already said is this idea that mental health means weakness. I actually really view someone coming forward and speaking about something they're struggling with mentally as a strength, because it then means they're also not only talking about it, but hopefully finding ways to move past it or cope with it, ways that are healthy for them. So I think that's, a common way. I also think for athletes in particular, this idea that you can't continue to play if you have a mental health concern, or that there's a lot of fear around, is my playtime going to be changed if someone knows that I'm struggling, or will I not be trusted anymore? Again, in reality, hopefully coming forward about it just means, and talking about it means, that you're opening up to all the different resources and support that are available. So I think those are probably two of the common ones that I hear so regularly. But with this culture of being strong and self-reliant and independent, sometimes asking for help can be a really challenging thing. And so I know that's something that a lot of athletes that I speak with also talk about as a piece of the stigma.
And then what can we do to end the stigma or kind of lower it around athletes so people can get by that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's something that hopefully we're all trying to do. Everybody who's having these conversations, just talking about it is a big difference and a way to decrease stigma. I think when you see professional athletes, like we've seen so recently, speaking out about their own mental health journeys and how their sport has been impacted or their relationships have been impacted, that helps decrease stigma. I also think the more that student athletes are able to stand up and say, like, hey, yeah, I'm struggling with something and I have been for a while, but I'm still able to manage, and I'm still the person that I've always been, is great. And I think the more education we're providing with our staff, our support staff, our coaches, the people around us in athletics departments, and our families, and then the greater population that just watch sports and enjoy it, knowing that these student athletes are humans first. They're people, they have struggles every day. And though they may be great at what they do, they may be overcoming so much to get there.